Well, time now for our final delve into the papers this morning. Here with me is Alison Stewart-Allen, Chief Executive of International Marketing Partners, and Kevin Craig, PR and Crisis Management Expert. So welcome back once again. We're going deep into the papers now. We're going to The Telegraph. This is page 13 of The Telegraph. And it's how a brand of shoe, or a style of shoe, lots of imitators,
Absolutely.
has really taken off again.
Yes, again. So this is about Birkenstocks. So this is a brand that's over 250 years old. I suspect people don't know that. It was
I didn't know that.
Yes, late 1700s.
My own pair are probably about that old. Look it.
Well, what's so interesting is how this company has stayed current. First off, it's owned now by a private equity company who are looking at taking Birkenstocks public, selling shares. It would be £4.7 billion in value if it does go on the market. One of the things about this brand is its collaboration with designers. So while normally you can expect to pick up a pair for under £100, now there is a pair that's £870 because it's a collaboration with Christian Dior. So there's all of these interesting permutations on the theme. I think what's interesting is, back in the 60s, Birkenstock was the shoe of protest, really. It was the ugly shoe. And you would wear it because you were making a statement. And now it's not much less ugly, but its branding, interestingly, is what makes it covetable these days. And during COVID, people went on we went on a lot of walks. So trainers, shoes like this were really popular, and they have stayed popular now.
Comfort all the way, but as I say, so many imitations out there.
Incredible.
There are lots of different brands who are doing the same style.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Kevin, take us to the Mirror next, because there's a story about a particular EasyJet flight.
Yes, and it's the other side of the spectrum in terms of a negative brand story. And it's in the Mirror, but it's also elsewhere across the papers today. The headline is "Not So EasyJet." And, this is a cautionary tale for travellers, because what happened was a plane from Lanzarote to Liverpool, EasyJet let everybody on, and only after that did they then say that because of the wind conditions, it's not like nobody knows that Lanzarote is not windy. But anyway, putting that to one side, they then realised subsequently that they wanted 17 passengers to get off because the plane was too heavy. Now, in the papers, stories like this really resonate because it comes off the back of the fact that EasyJet, as Which covered last week, has got double the number of cancelled flights compared to Jet2 and Ryanair, and over half the people who have a problem with EasyJet say that there's no one there to help you. And why this story resonated with me is that last summer EasyJet dumped me and my family in Rhodes Airport at 3 a.m, and I'm over it, absolutely fine. But this story is interesting because it strikes a chord, and they've got to be careful.
Well, yes, and yet I guess your story's horrendous. I'm sorry for you for it. Some people will say, well, the same thing happened to me with a different airline. But and EasyJet themselves do acknowledge that 19 passengers were asked to come off because of weight limits in those weather conditions, and they say it was for safety reasons essentially, and the volunteers were provided with compensations. That's what EasyJet is saying.
Well, indeed, and talking to somebody as CEO PLM, I recognise corporate PR when I hear it.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on to the story that we didn't get to in the last hour. We teased everybody about.
Yes.
It is a cracking story.
It is a cracking story. It is such a lovely, heartwarming story. So it's about an author. And this man, in his 50s, has written a young adult category title of a book about ghosts and teenagers. And he's in a bookshop in Fort Worth, Texas, at a table, as you are. I mean, I'm an author, and I had the same book signing. You have a book signing. And he's there for the book signing, waiting for people to come up enthusiastic. I just paid for my book. Please sign it. Anyway, nobody came up to this poor man. So a couple of people in the shop, young guys who are on TikTok, said, we really feel for you. We're going to do a little TikTok video with you. Is that all right? And he said, sure, that would be nice. So they do this little TikTok and he talks about the book. Anyway, these two guys upload this video to TikTok about this poor author having nobody visiting. 18 million hits. And now his book is at the top of the young adult category on Amazon. And he said in this piece, he's living the dream. He always wanted to be an author. He was told you'll never make a living at it. He thought, well, I'm still going to pursue it. And because of this TikTok video, now he is a made author. He's now successful.
Shows you the power of marketing
exactly.
to the right people, I guess.
Absolutely.
It was the youth market.
Absolutely. But it also shows you the scale of social media and its reach as a platform and its influence.
He didn't know the boys, did he?
No.
Okay.
No.
Otherwise,
these
that would be very sophisticated.
Yeah, absolutely. No. These are just a couple of shoppers in the bookstore.
Extraordinary stuff.
It's a lovely story.
Good luck to him. That's great. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I bet his book signings aren't so empty.
Not now.
Very well attended. Take us on to the Times, Kevin. A story about LSE's chief. I'm assuming this isn't the London School of Economics.
No.
This is the other one. The stock
it's
exchange,
the London Stock Exchange. And for me, as we've got two business people on this morning, but as the founder of a multi-million-pound business, and one, we have looked at listing as a potential option for the future. But what's really striking about this story here is that the head of the London Stock Exchange has warned that, she wants the political class to be worried about the fact that if you're a UK-founded company, inevitably now it's more likely when you get to a certain point you list overseas, and that didn't used to be the case in the UK, and it's worrying because it matters where capital markets move and where investment follows. And if we want to be proud of British business, we want companies to list here. I just think it's, last year there were, 2 of the only 4 technology companies in the FTSE 100 were delisted. And we need to create the economic conditions to have more listings in London. And
why is it important to have them in this country?
Well, because the investors the capital will stay in this country. There's a whole sideline of other industries, the financial PR, the knock-on investment that follows if they list on our market, and it's just very good for us as to say that Britain is open for business. So hopefully that she'll get listened to.
Okay, interesting stuff. And finally, let's quickly take a look at the Times and a story about voice checks to protect children.
Yes, absolutely. Really, really interesting. So what's going on basically is there's tech to be able to determine the age of a user of a website based on their voice. And there are 2 companies, a Swiss company and a British company, that have this technology. And one of the ideals is that this technology is used to screen and remove those that are under 18 from visiting porn sites and gambling and alcohol sites. So
we're out of time, but interesting that technology can be harmful to children, but may potentially protect them as well.
Absolutely.
Anyway, lovely to see you both this morning. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.